So we have now completed the first month of the new year. Uh, January is almost entirely in the can. We only have a few days left. And so I'm curious to know, how are we all doing with our New Year's resolutions? How many of us have already failed? I talked about this at the beginning of the month, or maybe it was at the end of last month, I'm not sure. I said I usually don't have resolutions, but all of a sudden I had this epiphany just days after the new year, or days after I recorded that I wouldn't have a New Year's resolution. I don't know. But it seemed to work out wonderfully well. I decided that I'm going to start going to sleep earlier every night before work and get more rest. I mean, it varies. We all need anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And I'm now getting right about 7 hours of sleep by not even going to sleep that much earlier. Maybe a half hour, I think, is all the more time I needed, and I'm getting it now. And I am feeling a little bit better. And I'm sure a lot of you have similar resolutions. It's, feeling better or looking better, or a combination of the two. Probably a lot of us are trying to diet. We're hitting the gym, and we're trying to eat right. And I want to tell you, although dieting isn't my resolution this year, it remains an interest of mine in the new year and all year long in years gone by. I have lost weight twice in my life. I'm not just talking, the usual 2 to 3 pounds that come and go from one day to the next. I'm talking like maybe 15 pounds or so. And I did it twice in my life. I'm not going to say when. Trying not to give away my age. But both times, what worked for me, I'm going to share with you what worked for me, because it may work for you. It may not. I think we all have to experiment and try different types of diets. Some people get really good results on one diet that other people don't get good results on, and some of those people that lose weight on one diet can't lose weight on another. But my system is real plain and simple. It's called the starvation diet. Just eat less food. That doesn't sound healthy, but it works. It worked for me. I recommend you probably, if you aren't doing it already, that you do take nutritional supplements. I think the Slim Fast shakes works well for me as a meal replacement. I've not had the discipline to do that in a very long time, but when I did do it, I did lose weight doing that. I would have the shake at breakfast time, and again at lunch, and at dinner I would usually have a frozen dinner. I live alone, okay, and so there's no one to cook for but me. I don't like leftovers, so that means I would need to cook almost daily for one person. Doesn't interest me. So I do a lot of frozen dinners, and those are usually 8 to 10 ounce portions. They're very small. Once you do Slim Fast and this frozen diet, this frozen dinner, like a lean cuisine or something, for a few days, you're going to be going berserk. But I'm telling you, your stomach starts to shrink. It starts to become accustomed to getting less food. It's just getting through those first few days. It's very difficult. And a lot of people say, no, your body, in reaction to what you're doing, just stores fat because it feels it's being starved. It knows what you're doing, and it goes into protection mode. I believe that may very well be true for a few days, but I'm telling you, the pounds start coming off. And this isn't all entirely about just Slim Fast and frozen dinners. And that doesn't really sound all that palatable, but the good news is, take it from me, I'm a junk food junkie. The last time I dieted, it consisted of eating a lot of fast food. And the difference between fast food and regular, like, table service, full service restaurants is that you can better control the meal portions, because when you sit down in a restaurant where they serve you at the table, the food is expensive and you get these huge portions. All right, and a lot of us don't want to take the food home. I don't know about you. I'm not one of those people that likes to take food home. I either finish it at the restaurant or I leave what's left over. I'm usually successful in finishing everything on my plate. Sometimes there's a few things that I'm willing to leave. It's usually not enough to take home. Sometimes I'm able to save some for later. But what happens is I end up bringing the food home, and if I don't eat it that same day later in the evening and it crosses over into the next day, it's just going to like get pushed into the back of the refrigerator, and I'll just rediscover it like a month from now with like green growing all over it. So I don't do the leftovers. Again, I told you, that's why I don't cook for myself. But anyway, when you go to fast food restaurants, you can order things small, medium, or large. So if you ordinarily take it the way it comes, and these fast food places are really sneaky and upsizing stuff and selling things medium size without you even knowing, it automatically comes that way sometimes. Or from there they'll bump you up to a large. Always ask for small. And, your eyes are always going to be bigger than your stomach, especially when you're dieting. You're going to feel like, oh my God, that's not enough food. Trust me, order small. Once you've eaten, you'll be like, you'll feel fine. Now, the problem is, it is less food, and your stomach is going to start growling on you, but trust me, just do it. And I do want to talk now a little bit about all these restaurants. Like I said, I'm a junk food junkie. I do like fast food. I admit that. I have no shame about it, okay? It's comfort food, in my opinion. I eat cheap, the food's tasty, and it's filling. So that's what I often do. And because I do have a food friend, but we can't always get together. So a lot of times I'll just pick up a bag of food and I'll lay in the bed here behind me, and after a night of binge drinking, some Taco Bell really hits the spot. I just lay there, watch some TV. There's been nights where I've just flung the food over to this side of the bed, woke up in the morning with like plates and forks, and I better stop. But anyway, I got a list here of 12 fast food restaurants. Some I don't frequent very much, but I have something to say about them. Some I go to often. So the first one, of course, everybody's tried McDonald's. Pretty much everybody has. All right, I love their McCafe frozen coffees. I stop there regularly on Saturday, go through the drive-thru, get myself a frozen coffee. They're like $2. Even Dunkin' Donuts, you can't get it that inexpensively anywhere else. Starbucks will charge you an arm and a leg, and it just tastes like burnt coffee, and it's, all fluff and fancy stuff and not much substance, and you're paying up the yin-yang for it. So I prefer McDonald's. It's not classy, but it's still tasty, and it's cheap, and it's good. They're not really good with their sandwiches. Their signature burger's a Big Mac. It's decent, but other than that, not very good burgers. But the fries are fantastic, only rivaled by maybe In-N-Out. which is only on the West Coast. I live on the East Coast, so I haven't eaten there often enough to really say who has the best fries. But I gotta say, McDonald's makes excellent fries. Burger King has better burgers, but you know their service is extremely slow, and their order accuracy is really bad. So that's another reason why I prefer McDonald's. If you're in a hurry, you can get in and out of McDonald's relatively quickly, particularly for, during lunch and breakfast hours. They have you in and out pretty quick. I'm talking the drive-through. So McDonald's is good about that, but Burger King has better food. They used to have a BK Mocha Joe. They discontinued that. I missed that. Cheesy Tots is one of those seasonal items that come and go. Really like them. They're just tater tots with cheese in them, and like the breading is different. Really good. But I'm telling you, service is just really bad. And lately they've been promoting this Farmhouse Burger, and I went like 4 weeks in a row and asked for the sandwich, and they never have it. So just need to take it off their menu. If they're too lazy and they don't want to make it because they don't have eggs, then it just doesn't need to be on the menu. Wendy's doesn't do a lot of. They're not as creative as McDonald's and Burger King is when it comes to introducing, temporary products, but they have the best balance of sandwiches and fries. And what I really go to Wendy's for is the chocolate frosty. You can substitute the drink with the frosty for no additional charge. I grew up on them only having chocolate. They now have vanilla. The vanilla is very good, but the chocolate frosty is fantastic. It's not a milkshake. You got to eat it with a spoon. Don't even bother trying to sip it through a straw. But that's what's really good. Their fries used to be all right. They introduced a few years ago this new fries with sea salt, and they're disgusting. They always taste greasy. They're always like worms, limpy, and I think it's because they adopted the home style fries that used to be or still is sold at Arby's. Arby's, I think, has a choice of those home style fries and the curly fries. Now they may only have the curly fries, I don't know. But I had the same experience with those fries at Arby's. See, Wendy's used to be on their own, and now I think they've been bought out by the parent company for Arby's. Arby's is also on my list. I'm not a fan of cold cuts and type of deli meats. Arby's specializes in roast beef sandwiches. They do also serve chicken sandwiches. I mean, it's all okay food. I don't mind their food. They make a killer Jamocha shake. I love it. It's a blend of chocolate and coffee. It's really good. So that's where I go to Arby. I go there for their shakes. Kentucky Fried Chicken, I can take it or leave it. It's okay. Don't really have much to say about them. They serve just strictly chicken. At the moment, they have no chicken sandwiches of any kind. They have no wraps. So if you like more variety, then you probably should go to Chick-fil-A, where they have the wraps. They have a chicken salad sandwich. They have chicken sandwiches. They have the grilled chicken. They have the breaded chicken. Every type of sandwich under the sun, pretty much. But you can't get a bucket of chicken there like you can get at KFC. They don't have the drumsticks and the thighs and the legs. So if you like that, you got to stick to KFC or Popeyes or Church's Chicken. I'm not really familiar with any of those, but I know that most people hate Church's. Subway has got to be like the king of subs. They are the #1 chain in terms of number of restaurants, probably as much, if not more, than McDonald's. And I've always found subs to be kind of expensive, but probably Subway has them priced the least. And the nice thing about them is they have some hot subs, unlike Jimmy John's, which is disgusting. I don't like their subs at all. I've tried them a few times. Yeah, they have fast service. Yes, they deliver to your work, and that's kind of nice. But I just don't like the toppings. It's just, they put the stuff on automatically. I just prefer the footlongs and the variety of breads. I just like that about Subway. You know, in my opinion, Quiznos and Firehouse subs is tastier, but in terms of balance of price and taste, you know, and size, Subway is the best value. And they, unlike Jimmy John's, like I said, they have the hot subs, they have the meatball, they have like a steak and cheese sub. The problem with that is they don't have mushrooms. I don't know why. Subway has never had mushrooms, and I like a steak and cheese with peppers, onions, and mushrooms. But can't get mushrooms there. So let's see, what else do we have on our list? I've got to wrap this up. Taco Bell, they unveiled their new Taco Bell fries just a few days ago. I've got to check those out. That'll be interesting. But from Taco Bell, I've always loved the Mexican pizza. Although over the years they've been deleting more and more ingredients. They used to include black olives, which I hated. So yeah, the Mexican pizza has always been my longtime favorite. I don't mind that they've removed the black olives, but a few years ago there was some type of scare, there's some type of recall or something with the scallions, the green onions, and I don't know, Taco Bell just became so freaked out they never brought them back. So now the Mexican pizza is not much other than just the 2 tortilla shells, some ground beef in the center. I don't even know if it has refried beans. I think it does. And then just like a cheese blend on top and some chopped tomatoes. So they really need to bring back the green onion. Just adds flavor, and as far as presentation, it's really nice. They could be really messy with those Mexican pizzas. They shove them in the bag, they put it at an angle, and everything just slides, and it just looks so disgusting. Taco Bell, the food is good, tasty in my opinion, but really messy, and they really need to pay more attention to the way they serve the food so that it doesn't look like it's already been eaten when you get it. Other favorites of mine is the grilled stuffed burrito. It's like a quarter pound of food. So it's a nice, great big burrito. I like that. And then I also like the Crunchwrap Supreme. The apple empanada for dessert is nice. The cinnamon twist is tasty. It's okay. It's just cinnamon tasting foam, but for some reason I enjoy it, as gross as it sounds. I enjoy it regardless. Now they have some Cinnabuns, little balls of cinnamon flavored something or other. I don't know. Try it. It's good. I don't know what it is. I haven't had it often enough to know what it's called, but I like those. And let's see, who else is on our list? We've got to get through this. Running out of time here. So I know Checkers is on the list. Checkers is great if you are like drunk out of your mind and you're like between 16 and 25. I think it's probably the place to hang out at. They're also known as Rallies. I don't know where. There used to be a Rallies here in Florida, in South Florida, when I used to live down there, and then it was gone. It became Checkers, and Checkers everywhere ever since. I like their banana shake. Their apple pies are good because they're deep fried. I know that sounds disgusting, but it tastes way better than the baked apple pies that they started serving at McDonald's and Burger King. I don't even know if Burger King has an apple pie anymore, but Checkers is good. It's got a lot of cinnamon and maybe some type of, it's not a powdered sugar, but it's got like a sugar coating also, and the crust is always very crispy. But Checkers suffers from overly salty food. I don't like that. Their burgers aren't that great. They're kind of on par with McDonald's, but not even as good. And when you add in all that salt, you know, I don't usually complain about salt, so if I'm complaining about salt, trust me, way too salty, their food. Their fries, really good. They have the seasoned fries, and that's what I like best about Checkers, is their fries. So, Hardee's is good. They make great onion rings. They're also flame broiled burgers like Burger King. They're not fried, so that's what I like about Hardee's. Not much else really to write home about when it comes to Hardee's. Boston Market, really like Boston Market. That's a favorite of mine. Now also on my list is Boston Market. I love their cream spinach. I love their mashed potatoes. They, like, you know, KFC has sides that you can eat with a knife and a fork. It's not really a sandwich place. They do have sandwiches there. They call them Boston Carvers. I don't like it. I don't get into their sandwiches. I haven't tried their pot pies. Don't know if those are any good, but I know I love a lot of their sides, and you know, they have mac and cheese. They have veggies. They have stuff like that. You know, I usually get the meatloaf. They have a regular and now they have a large. Get the regular. All right. So if you want something that's more like real food, Boston Market, I don't really consider it a fast food place. I call it more like a fast casual type of place, and it's good for dinner. But again, there's no servers. It's counter service. And their rotisserie chicken is really good. I don't usually eat chicken in public. I don't even eat chicken in public, not when it's on the bone. Everything has to be filet. I just think it's barbaric sitting in a restaurant just gnawing on a chicken leg and pulling the skin off. Oh, it's just disgusting. I can't do it. So I don't. So I usually get the meatloaf there. They also have turkey as well, but I'm not a fan of turkey. I could take it or leave it. Also on my list is Panda Express. A lot of people hate Panda. I'm one of the ones that love it. Fewer people love it than hate it, and there isn't too many people in between. If you like Chinese food, it's fast food Chinese food. Don't like the fried rice very much. It's kind of bland. If you get it, just drown it in soy sauce. They also they serve everything with two sides, either the chow mein noodles or the fried rice or the steamed rice, or they have mixed veggies, and then you can just pick two entrees. Their signature dish is the orange chicken. It's great. It's sweet though. You know, a few things are spicy. Orange chicken isn't really spicy. It's sweet. If you like sweet, if you're a sweet freak, you'll like Panda Express. Get the orange chicken. Get the Beijing beef. There's also some chicken with pineapples, sweet fire chicken breast or something, I think it's called, really good. The Angus beef is really good too. That is, they charge a little bit more for that, and it's not sweet, but it's really good. CC's, that's the only buffet I have on my list. Really inexpensive to eat there. That's why a lot of families go. So if you don't want to hear crying babies screaming all around you and annoying people, you know, blowing up balloons for kids, then don't go there. Some are better than others. Some are getting way too fast food-like, where everything is paper, and you know, you have to carry. They don't have trays. You have to make more trips. Some of them are better than others. Some of them still have trays, but their pasta is horrible. It's always sitting in a pot of water. Their soup can be really good, but a lot of times it's just broth. Their pizza, get the zesty veggie. I love it. Excellent. But you can just special order any pizza you want there, and it's salad, pizza, pasta, soup, dessert, usually for around $6. So if you're on a budget, that's the place to go. But if you're on a diet, it's not. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about food. I rambled and rambled on about it entirely too long. But it is one of our favorite subjects is food. Everybody has to eat it, and everybody has a preference. So we'll talk about it again sometime again in the future. But that's all for tonight. Appreciate your time. See you again soon, hopefully.